Seconds from now, and you'll be good.
Yeah, as good as I'm gonna get. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Lakeville Open Space Committee meeting of August 1st, 2024, 6 p.m. In attendance, please, active members, state your names.
Bob Wilson.
Devaney Boyajian.
Liz Nash.
Joe Gladue Morton.
And David Zalonis is inactive voting right now, but I'm here, apparently. All right, let's see, LakeCAM is recording. Is anybody else recording the meeting?
No.
Okay, and we do have a quorum, even without my voting. So we're call this meeting to order. I did distribute agendas by email, and I don't know if anybody needs a copy. All right, everybody have one? Everyone's good? All right, the next item on the agenda is discuss and possible vote for our new committee member. We seven-person committee with one opening, and we currently have one applicant. And is Lynn Morley, and she is here tonight. And Lynn, I don't know if you just want to give a brief summary of your background. We have everything here in writing, but just
So I've lived in Lakeville for 39 years, loved the rural community and would like to see it stay that way. I have experience with volunteering at the schools and the church. Youth committee, we had a great garden at Soul Farm so that I could teach them about nature and how plants and everything sustains life. So I think that I've always been interested in nature and sustaining nature.
And, looking at your resume, very impressive resume, and involved in grants and all that. Could
Right,
come
in the
handy.
schools, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, do I have a motion for any other discussion on this nomination?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to accept Lynn Morley as our new member.
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
I'm apparently abstaining. So, but that was unanimous of voting members.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that's the, what will happen is I will email Tracy to get you on the next select board meeting agenda because they need to appoint you to the committee. So the committee is unanimously approving, recommending you for appointment, and they will review that. And I think their next meeting is this coming Monday, August 5th. It's not on the calendar, but typically, according to the schedule, it was every other Monday, which would come up as the 5th.
Okay.
And if not, there's another one in August. So, and once they do appoint you, you'll get a letter in the mail, and you'll need to go to the town clerk to get sworn in, and then you'll be an active voting member.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
All right,
thank
excellent.
you for
Thank you.
explaining that.
All right, so that's, okay, the next thing is the commission updates, and as we talked last time, the APC doesn't have regular meetings, and I guess I'll just check their website every month and see if there's any new postings of news. I did check it this morning, and there was no new posting from the APC, so I mean, there's not a lot of activity there, so we'll carry it because it's important, part of the open spaces, but not very active right now. The Conservation Commission is also checking that their webpage, and that's a very active commission, and they don't have any requests into the Open Space Committee for any comments or reviews, but if nobody has gone into the Conservation Commission webpage and look at their meeting minutes and agendas, is definitely very interesting. You see all the different properties that are transactions and construction, and that are being proposed and being worked on, and then they meet sometimes a couple times a month, and there's a couple of interesting properties in there that again, they're just one of them's new, but it's maybe I have it here. So I think it's early because there was a lot of problems with the submission, and but it's the Pinecrest Village. It's like about 9 acres of woodland at the northwest side along Pond that they're proposing to put a cul-de-sac and 2 houses in there, and it looks like it's being jammed into the woods between the swamp and everything. So I don't know if it'll get approved, but the Conservation Commission and the Planning Board are looking at that. I think it's a letter of intent was submitted, and there were all kinds of comments there, but we're not being asked to comment. But there's a lot of interesting things you can see in there. There's I think there might stuff on Rocky Woods and everything else. So, and then there's a lot of smaller things we're working on. So nothing for us to do, but
Keep an eye on.
very good information. I think everybody should take a look in there once in a while. And because I could miss something too that maybe we do want to reach out to them about. Okay, and let's see, on the Historical Commission.
Not much going on there. We did receive the Cemetery Commission received CPC funds to have some stones reset at Thompson Hill in order to help the Historical Commission get Thompson Hill on the National Register. So we have a cemetery restorer coming to set some table stones. So that's about all we have going on.
And the CPC, Liz?
So I haven't been voted on yet.
Oh,
I went to one meeting just to see and to meet them and see what was going on and what their expectations are. And then I came back to you all to find out if anybody else was interested. Nobody was, and so they
Right.
haven't had another meeting yet.
okay. So
Their July meeting, they didn't have a quorum.
All right, so
Yeah.
you're waiting to be appointed by the select board
Yeah,
right now?
well, yeah. First I gotta go to the CPC thing and do what she just
Okay.
did, and then.
So, don't say the CPC hasn't voted?
No, they didn't have a meeting in July because they didn't have a quorum.
Okay.
And so the next meeting is this month, and I couldn't tell you exactly what day. I think it's next week.
Yeah, yeah, it is summer. Right.
It's, I know.
All right, well, that's good. So you did go to their meeting,
Yeah.
anything?
As an observer,
Yeah.
it was 2 months ago now. Nothing that wasn't the roof on the town hall was one of the things that CPC was funding.
The cupola at the Historical
The
Museum.
cupola at the, so they just were discussing
The
where things
cemetery
were.
stones that I was just talking
Yeah,
about.
they didn't discuss the cemetery stones. And I was asking like how it works. They were explaining to me how the whole CPC, applying for the funds, and then they check your submission, and then if they kind of like it, they ask for more information. You need to give them more in-depth information about whatever project it is. So, yeah, it's more of a learning curve, but, so I'll go and
Start.
I'll go to the next meeting and.
All right, thank you, Liz. All right, the update on tracking Chapter 61 properties.
I've been chasing the assessor's office to get the new numbers. They were supposed to call me today and send me the new numbers. They didn't, but I can tell you, July of 2023, which are the last numbers that we have, and these are the numbers that are in the new open space plan. There were 22 parcels in Chapter 61, which is forestry, 656.7 acres.
Can you say that again, Jill?
Chapter 61, which is forestry,
Yeah.
22 parcels comprising 656.7 acres.
Okay.
Chapter 61B, which is agriculture, 85 parcels, 1,555.65 acres. And 61B, which is open space and recreation, 15 parcels of 640.78 acres, for a total of 2,853.13 acres in chapter land and 122 parcels.
Okay. And so, now this is a database that the assessor's office.
The assessor's office has
They
it, and-
maintain it, and it has dates of expiration. and all
It
that.
does, and it doesn't have dates of expiration, but it has the category. And I think we have to find out from the assessor's office, and it would be the select board, because since the town has right of first refusal, it has to go to the select board to see if the town wants it.
Right.
And what I did find out was, for chapter 61, forestry, you have to have 10 acres. 61A and 61B are both 5 acres. And I did notice on the list the list from the assessor's office that I had last year, that there were parcels that are nowhere near 5 acres. So I want to talk to the man in the assessor's office, Dave, who handles the chapter land, and see what's up with that. Because there were tiny, tiny parcels under chapter land. And I looked it up on the town website, and they refer you to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Department of Agricultural Resources brochure, and it clearly states these amounts. So I want to find out from the assessor's office how this goes on. And I want again, and I think maybe because it's July and everybody just got their lands all reassessed,
He's busy.
we don't know how many parcels have been taken out. We only know of a couple that have gone before the select board.
So,
So I
don't
think
they, when they take out one of these restrictions, or isn't there a time frame assigned to it when they take it and it has to be renewed?
there is,
every
I'm not quite sure what it is, but I mean, and some of these are such small parcels, you have to pay back taxes if you take your land out. But they were small parcel and you take your land out, you say to the town, you want my 0.1 acre property, and you pay the back taxes on it and you take it out.
Right.
I mean, the town might say right away, we don't want a tiny piece of land like that, and it would never come to us. But the parcels that are hundreds of acres, they might be more might be more interested, and we wouldn't have the money to buy it, or we might, with the CPC fund, so I mean, that's something that we have to find out.
So I think when we looked at one of the charges for the Open Space Committee was that we were to monitor this list,
Absolutely.
which you're updating it.
Absolutely.
But I think it's important to know when they're coming up for expiration and renewal, because if
I
they
think,
don't-
I'm gonna think
guess-
probably once a year, you have to renew your chap, I was involved once with a chapter 61A parcel, and you had to renew it every year.
Okay, and is it?
And I'll find out, and I'm thinking it's probably July.
Okay, so
Everything's July.
it's just like.
Everything's in July.
Yeah, it's just like if you were on Open Space Committee and you renew your appointment.
Stop feeling bad about it. They give me 4 days. I got a letter, I had 4 days to do it, yeah. And because they're busy,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
busy.
Is it July?
Yeah, July 31st.
July-
Yeah,
July
I got the
31st.
letter like 4 days before July,
Mhm.
30th, and I just happened to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So, don't,
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. We don't have any major votes, and you got enough votes here anyway,
There you go.
coming up, so. Yeah, so I think what when you get that list updated, should we be, the Open Space Committee, be maintaining a database with that, with
We
the,
should
with,
be.
and knowing the
And I'll try to-
expiration dates? And so, man, maybe they all come up at once.
I think they all come up at once.
Wow.
do you
Okay.
really? Wow, really?
I think they'll come up at once, but I'll find out for certain. I
Yeah,
think
so
they
we
do.
should, if we're
Really?
monitoring, how many properties are in, and when they're coming up, and of course, the select board has to get notified.
I mean,
if they're
right now-
gonna take it up.
122 properties
Yeah, that's
Right.
pretty good.
in 2023. There may be more or less now,
Yeah.
which is what I was hoping to find out today from the assessor's office, but
Okay.
well,
So-
I'll haunt them until they give me the numbers
All
like I
right,
have in the
so when
past.
you're through with them, you should end up with a database. with-
Absolutely, because usually
I think-
I have a database, the name, the owner, the address, 61A or 61B, how many acres.
Right.
So that's what I'm
And
hoping
then
to
if
get
you,
the new
yeah, and then
one.
if you find out about how the expiration dates tie in. And
That's what
everything
mine,
else.
find out the date for expirations.
Right, and about that 5-acre limit question too, so probably by next meeting, you should be able
I
to
should.
get that out of them.
I'll go in there every day,
is
I'll
that a
go in
da-
there every day until they throw me out.
So you're gonna put that database together, and you're
will.
gonna maintain that, and
Yes, I will.
and if it goes to somebody else, at a later date, but that way, going forward, we will have a Chapter 61 database that will be
Absolutely.
up to date.
Exactly.
Excellent. All right, thanks, Joan. Any other discussion on the Chapter 61 database?
Actually, I do. And I don't know if this is related, but I was looking at the Nemasket, that little Nemasket newspaper. And there was an article about the Lakeville selectmen
For sale.
selling off some of the town
Properties.
land.
There's a
13 of them.
lot of town-owned land.
So, I was
A
wondering,
lot.
how do we track down what the town owns?
I mean, there is a list
Is there
in the
a
open
list?
space plan of town-owned land.
That was my other question, actually. Go ahead.
Is that the one, 2013 one, or is there one for 2022? I stopped at the library.
The new one
Yeah,
is
22.
supposed to be done by September.
Oh,
Is that approved by September and posted?
Mhm.
or-
That was my second question actually today, but I was gonna bring it up under new business, under new business, wondering where the open space
Wouldn't
plan.
I think the treasurer's office must have that information, right?
What was that?
The treasurer's office?
The Lakeville owned town-owned property. I wonder if I can even find it on the web. It might be very easy. It might just be on the website. I have no
I
idea.
mean, I have, there's a copy.
So are the lands that are owned by the town, are they chapter 61 for any
No,
of those
I think
things?
they're mostly properties that people never paid their taxes on, so the town took it. Not chapter lands or anything, just like if you didn't pay your taxes for X amount of years,
Oh.
and they take, the land takes the town.
No,
The
right.
town takes the land.
And then they can do with.
Then they can do whatever they want with it, right. I mean, there
I
was
just
talk at
curious
one
where this
point,
land
in
came
open
from.
space, I think you might have been on one, like a lot of places in Clark Shores are owned by
No,
the
I-
town.
No.
And would it be
I heard
wise
this.
for the town to put 2 or 3 parcels together if they were all town-owned,
Right.
and make one big parcel and send one big parcel? Which would make more sense than selling this little parcel and this little parcel and this little
Right.
parcel.
That
So I think
does
that's under
make sense.
discussion with the select board now.
Interesting. Okay. I was- Thank you for,
You're
but
welcome.
I didn't know
Yeah.
what town owned. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
what do you mean
not-
town owned property? Oh.
I mean, the town does own some big pieces of property, like, but these are the ones they're talking about, are the ones that have been taken, I think, for taxes.
Okay. So is there an idea of ever asking the town to put their larger pieces of property into,
Open space, yeah.
yeah,
Depends what they are, I mean, if they're.
right, if they're valuable enough.
If they, a piece of property with land on it,
Right.
as opposed to just a little cottage here and
No,
a
right,
little
yeah,
cottage there.
exactly. Yeah. So that would be interesting. I think it would be interesting to know
Mm.
what exactly, actually what lands.
Mm.
Because it could, it could be something valuable. I don't know.
We talked about it before, so.
I don't remember ever talking, because I didn't realize that. Thank you, you're
You're
a
welcome.
mountain of information.
So that, so the new plan gets released in September or October, because right now we got the 2013.
Right, I mean, when it's done.
And there are a lot of that information, of course, it's predated in the
Mm-hmm.
2013 one. And I was looking in there, and you can't really use the maps at all. They're pictures, when you try and zoom in, they're so fuzzy, you can't read anything.
You can't.
So if you want to see that information that's in the posted plan, is that through, you have to go to another site to see that?
I'm sorry, I missed the beginning of the conversation.
You can't read the maps that have the, the open space areas are designated, and I think some of the town properties and parcels are all designated, but you can't read any of it.
Would you-
It's just a picture.
Wasn't that something we talked about when we were putting the open space, updating the open space plan, that Serpide would give us better
I think we have some
maps?
new better maps.
New better maps
New
that would
better
be
maps.
online.
Okay, in
Yeah.
the new plan,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I haven't seen that yet, because I came on after you were all done, the update, so, but we'll see that in
So
September,
Kathy and
October.
the assessors, the planning office is working on it.
Okay, so, and you can't really see anything now, but
Right.
we'll have full access to that. and
Right.
nothing
Because
over
those
to-
maps are from
Okay.
2013 or something, yeah.
Okay.
Or after.
Okay, so chapter 61 property database is looking good, and, okay, the next one, this, the discussion of possible participation in the neighborhood outreach project grant program. And I know everyone, we discussed this back in February, and then, of course, there's been a lot of personnel changes and things going on, so we haven't gone any further with this, and we don't know if they're gonna renew for the new year, which I think starts in the fall, but they have for the last 4 years, and they expect it to. So I think just some pre-planning, if we're gonna try and participate in this, we talked about doing that over the summer, so we'd be ready to go in the fall if they reinitiated the project, and we'd have something to go. So just wanted to restart some of the discussion we had in February, and I think, I don't know, probably, Elizabeth, you're probably closer to this program than I am, but I read up on it, and there's actually 2 different programs.
Right.
The neighborhood outreach, which is reaching out to landowners, trying to educate them on what their options are as far as maybe conserving their properties. And this program is especially interested in forested land because it's through the forestry program. And then there's a smaller mini grant for setting up, strengthening networks through different neighboring communities
Yeah, I
and
was
things.
confused by the definition of it.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can do both or one, but
Right.
there's two different grant programs.
Right.
And this is all from the Regional Open Space Agency, I believe?
don't have it
The
memorized.
Alliance, Rosa.
Alliance
Alliance,
Rosa,
I
yeah.
think.
So, and my first question is, have we done anything along these lines in the past? We must have. Maybe not in a grant program, but we've never done an outreach to landowners to educate them on.
Not since I've been on the committee.
and-
But, so my little background always helps.
Yeah.
And I can't quite remember, I've been on the committee now for a few years. But when I started, I mean, the open space plan actually had expired, correct? It's supposed to be done every 7 years, I think. And that was completely expired by when I started, and it didn't get really worked on until about 2 years ago, when this committee started again. So as far as anything, and we had a lot of turnover, there was a lot of turnover going on. So as far as any, like, being able to put a cohesive project together and actually follow it to beginning, middle, and end, that didn't happen. So in the time that I've been here, until the open space plan with Amy Knox and yourself and other people, Fred and Mike, and so no, bluntly, no, in my experience, we have not done that outreach.
Nothing
And I think once the plan is finished, we have to have a community forum so people can look at it and make comments. I think that's part of getting the plan passed.
Open space plan passed, yeah.
So
Because
that's
after
to
it's
be
done, it has to go to Serpent, and they're gonna look at it and say, well, we think this is okay, or you need to change this, and then it will go to the state, and the state will say, we accept this plan, or you need to work on this.
All right,
And they'll
so-
send it back to us, and we'll have to fix it.
Okay, and they'll notify us of that meeting step and all that. Okay, because otherwise I wouldn't know.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. So there's the open space plan, which thank goodness you guys worked so hard on. And so that's at least one thing, but this, I don't know that we need, do you think we need to have the open space plan in place before we try to do a neighborhood outreach, or do
No.
we think
Right,
that
because
we
we can just
could-
tell people, talk to people about open space.
Yeah.
And
You know.
maintaining open
Right.
space.
I think-
So if we want to pursue that.
Yeah, from what I
you know, if
read,
everybody
is
thinks we should.
certain grants from the state that we're not eligible for because, until our plan is released. But
Right.
for this one, the
Right.
neighborhood outreach, that program, I believe we would be eligible for.
Do you think so? Do
I
you-
think so.
Yeah?
Well, we can confirm.
Is there a way to, because we shared that, but I don't believe any of these folks have ever seen that
Well,
link, and I didn't know
gave
that I
the
could
links
do
to,
that.
I don't know if Lynn, well, you're the-
Right,
on the
well,
committee yet,
once
but
you-
you're still,
Yeah.
but Bob, did you were able to check those links out? But you do have the links, right? Okay. So I think the information we're getting together about the Chapter 61 properties and there was supposed to be like a top 10 priority list of lands.
In the
that,
open space plan.
Yeah, and of course, you can't read a lot of it, and the one that's in there is
The
old, but it's
2013.
probably in the new one. Is there a top 10 in there? So,
Well, and I think also, we would talk to people about putting their property in chapter land, putting conservation restrictions
Right.
on them, and deed restrictions, so people would know that they can do this with their land, and they would actually get some tax relief.
yeah, so if we, and as far as you know, we've never done that with any of the farmers
No,
or
I don't
landowners
think
here. So there's a good opportunity there.
Right.
It is a good
We should
opportunity.
It's a great
definitely-
opportunity.
We should definitely take advantage of it.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
and when I was looking through some of this literature, there's actually, you can get free brochures that explain all that, you tell them how many you need, say you have 40
That's
or
right, that's
50
what they told us
people. Yeah.
before, they had brochures, yeah.
And it explains all the different options, and, I have some of that information here. So if we identify the target landowners, which would be, I would say you start with the top, and for this, the outreach, they want forested land. So I don't know if that takes out farmland, and it's gonna be forested land.
Well, it also has to be a certain amount of
Yeah,
acres too,
I mean,
isn't it?
we should maybe
Yeah.
get some chapter 61 brochures from the state,
Right.
so people would know. I mean, if you
Yeah.
get forestry land, you have to have a forester come in and give you a forest plan. If you have chapter agricultural land, you have to sell X amount of product off your agricultural land.
I'm
If
thinking-
you're in like a 61,
I'm thinking,
parcel thing.
yeah, I mean, doing something with the Chapter 61 is good. I don't know if this grant would cover that or not.
Yeah, well, I think
But
so. I mean, anybody
as long
that
as, yeah,
has.
as long as it's big enough property.
Yeah.
I think you start from the top and work down, and it should have some forest land on, you know, the property and of those landowners. We identify those and, you know, the top 10 that are in there, and then you get the whole parcel breakdown. It's all in the plan. So we need to pull that information out of the plan, work down forested land, the highest number of acres, and just rank them down and figure where to cut it off. If, I don't know if there's 50 landowners we're talking about, or 20, or, but then, once we do that, you know, just to pre-plan the outreach would be to get that list together, know how many brochures we would need to do a mailing. I guess what they suggest is do a mailing of all the options, and then follow it up with a meeting, invite all those landowners to a meeting, and whether it's a town hall or here or wherever, you know, one town building, and actually invite a speaker from possibly one of the trusts that will come in, because we're not going to be able to fully explain, you know, we know the summary of the different options, but somebody who works in it, I believe they, like Wildlands Trust or some of the others, would come in, and you get the people in, and you give them the brochure ahead, they get to come in, and I think that's the ideal program that they would like to fund.
Right. So I know that it's a reimbursement plan.
Right.
So we do have to figure out how much it's gonna cost first, and then,
Yeah.
It doesn't sound exorbitant to me, then approach the Board of Selectmen and ask them for the
Yeah.
funds.
Because if it's just a mailing, say you have 50 mailings, and then, of
Yeah.
course, there's follow-up too, so we'd have to, well, I guess, first put that list of priority forested properties together, which is information that is in the open space plan, I believe. At least in the latest information,
Can
the
you
new
pull,
one.
do you have that somewhere, or does Amy Knox have it somewhere separate from the plan that it can be lifted out and we can share?
Like chapter lands for forested land and
The
agricultural
top
land?
10 priority
Yeah.
list?
I think we actually have it in our minutes somewhere. I'll look for that. That's
I don't mean to
it's
keep putting this on you.
no, that's all right. I have all this information somewhere. I got a lot of notes and a lot of minutes.
I know you do.
But it would be good to have a, you know, database of, you know, parcels and sizes, you know,
Be much
ranked.
more
Right, I
organized.
mean, we
And,
have.
you know, forested land, farmland, open
Yeah.
space
Right.
land. And, you know, we should have that readily available if we're going to do an outreach, which seems like it makes sense, because if we've never done one, most landowners don't know what their
well,
I
options
mean, like
are.
You know,
like that, you wrote the letter for the SOPA land. Remember that?
The what land?
Oh,
SOPA,
the-
SOPA?
yeah.
No, you didn't remember. You did.
I
And then,
did?
yeah, I think
No, I
you
didn't, no.
The
I've only been here a year.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, you did.
Tuamala land, and all these these places that we've looked at, and are still open space right now. That nobody's done anything about the big parcels of land
Yeah.
where people were going to sell them, and then they haven't yet.
Yeah.
So the Castellini land is still
Yeah.
what
Yeah, yeah.
was coming out, and now it isn't. So we have all
Oh,
these
so they
giant parcels.
took that off the market, the crystalline?
I guess
So
so,
he's
yeah.
just
'Cause it-
holding for now?
I guess so, yeah, because it didn't go to CPC and he didn't get the CR, so I guess it's in holding.
That's good.
So
Means nothing's
I know.
happening on it.
Exactly.
And then you get that big block over by Howland Road down in southwestern area of town.
Mhm.
That big block, what is,
I'm not
it's
remembering
it's
it.
all wooded, I don't know.
Where they were putting in Pauline's Path?
I don't know, but there's a big undeveloped area, I don't know what's, anyways, I think that's on the top 10 list or something, so.
Have you ever checked out the website, the Mass GIS website?
No, I
You
haven't
can-
done that yet, no.
Oh, you'd like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I
You'd
just
like that
started
a
to
lot.
find the references to that, yeah.
I'll send you a link. How's that?
All right, thanks, yeah.
Yeah.
So for next meeting, I'll try and get up on some of the maps. I know there's some other map sites that are, mass map sites that are available online, and I've got some notes, but I have to dig through that. And I think that would be the first thing, if we could get some type of top 10 list and beyond, really, because I think we want to go beyond just 10 if we're going to do an outreach program. And then once we know how many properties, we know we can get free brochures at the mailing, we can get a good estimate of the cost of the mailing, and then there'll be a follow-up mailing to invite to a meeting, or maybe do it all in one mailing, and you send the information with the invite to a meeting.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know,
that would
have to-
probably be ideal in some ways.
That'd be one mailing instead of
One
two,
mailing.
but then, of course, you
Costs.
gotta have some type of feedback, is anybody interested in gonna come to the meeting,
That's the thing, we need
So-
to have a meeting and nobody shows up for it.
So, I think for next meeting, if we could, on this topic, just get all more familiar with the grant program and the properties, so whatever we can find within the maps online, and Joan, what you've got, the information that's in the new to-be-released open space plan, and we might be able to put a list of priority properties together from forested land, large side down, and if we, I don't know if there's an option on doing something with the networking program also, but I think this
Right.
would be the most important one, because this looks like there's a big need for it.
Yeah,
If nobody's
well,
aware of these options.
Right,
or
and at
they-
least
they
we've
need-
tried.
Yeah.
Right.
So that should be a priority, so I think, so look at that. Any further discussion on this? I think it's good to get started now, though, so.
When is it due? When
What's
is
that?
it due, the grant?
What does it do? Oh, it actually ran out for this year. I mean,
Oh.
they renewed it every year for the last 4 years, and they expect to renew it again for this year.
Okay.
So it's, the grant for the outreach program, usually it's a maximum $5,000 to cover expenses for whatever your outreach is. But most of them are, $1,000 to $2,500 area is what they like to do. Somewhere around there. And then the
you go.
networking projects are $700
That's the one we
max.
had.
Is it?
Mhm.
Okay. I believe under open space law, any documents that we give to each other, et cetera, has to actually go into the record. So, so if I did do that, didn't I don't know how we do that, though, especially when a lot of things are electronic these days, and we're not actually printing them. Do they just go into the minutes? Does the?
Well, if they're
the
distributed during the meeting, they do go into the minutes that they were
Right.
distributed at the meeting.
Okay.
And,
I'm just saying, because
Yeah.
I know that's, and I just
Yeah.
want to make sure that we don't get.
right.
And I wonder, the other one, I think at the websites, maybe if we just, I don't know, tell everybody the URL or something, I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
yeah, if you're just researching
Does that work?
websites, I mean, so, which we need to do
Right.
to be able to discuss the program and the application.
Yep, okay, yep, okay, thank you.
I think we're okay, but anything distributed here would be recorded. All right, anything else on that? Again, next month, looks like that has some good potential. Okay, and I just put this in here because we had it on the agenda last time, that the state biodiversity conservation goal listening sessions, if there's any discussion or comments on those, if anybody had a chance to look at that. I did look at it, it was a brief presentation, and Liz brought it to our attention, so I know she did.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
I looked at it too, but I didn't.
It's
listen.
impossible in the summertime. I don't
Well,
think
it was
it's
just, it was a
easy.
very short presentation. I guess some new state money for the state biodiversity program, and they're just putting their program together. So they put a couple of sessions, a very brief presentation that, biodiversity conservation for the state, and they're soliciting inputs from all the communities.
Right.
What do you want us to look at doing this? I did listen to one of them, and it's like I said, their presentation was brief, just soliciting inputs for their goals. They're just putting goals together right now. And there was just comments about, people called in about like the strip mining in Carver that's going on, forest being ripped out, and, light pollution at night, and not being properly enforced, and And I didn't take any notes, but it was interesting.
Yeah,
And,
interesting.
it's all things that we're involved in, so it was worth listening to.
Yeah. Well,
So
maybe
thank
I'll,
you.
I'll try to make time.
Yeah, we'll see what they come up with.
But that's good that people were
Yeah.
actually involved.
Yeah, they I think they budgeted an hour, I think, and they filled it with questions.
Yeah, I looked at the slides, because I didn't get to attend it, but it was like, I thought, what I took from the slides, because obviously I'm not hearing anyone, is that, they're talking about developing areas where we make, pollinator gardens and things for children to learn about the sustainability of our, so is that something we do? Or is that conservation?
So the only way I can answer that is to say something like, so Betty's Neck was a gigantic piece of property that the Open Space Committee worked very, very hard to save, and keep it undeveloped, which right there makes it more valuable to pollinators and wildlife,
Right.
et cetera. If there was a piece of property, I don't like a learning garden.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I kind of think probably if there was, at a piece of open space that we had conserved and the town was keeping, or Wildlands Trust or whomever was holding the CR on it, if we thought it would help, I don't see why it wouldn't be in the purview of the Open Space Committee. I just, from many, many years ago, my own opinion is simply that the pace of development in Lakeville has picked up so dramatically and so rapidly that kind of just need to find the chunks and get the people on board who we can so we can save
I
what we
think
can.
the focus on the open spaces, but we do look at involved in putting trails and things like that, right?
Right.
Or is that the conservation?
Conservation, yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think we could get involved in some.
right, yeah, right.
Absolutely.
And I think some of it is some educational programs about the existing trails that we have and getting involved
Yeah.
with the schools. I think that's been done in the past. I think I saw something on that. So definitely some potential there.
And along these lines, and just because it used to be something we talked about a lot, and then it kind of fell off the plate because of the open space plan. Many years ago, Mike Schroeder and I met with a woman from the state of Massachusetts and the Department of Wildlife, and they had helped fund Betty's Neck, the purchase of Betty's Neck. And what they were wishing we would do was make it more accessible to the general public and make our townspeople more aware that it exists. So signage and more communicating it town-wide, and also parking.
I put that in the goals and objectives of the
Did you?
open
And
space
no,
plan.
it's in the
That's in the goals
yeah.
and objectives
Yeah.
for Betty's Neck and the other town parks about
Right.
Betty's Neck signs,
Tamarack too,
parking,
right? Yeah, all of it.
accessibility.
Right.
That's
Right.
that's in our goals and objectives.
Right, so, okay, at least it's in there. Because that's along the.
I mean, that's big.
It's,
It's a very important.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
exactly.
There is a bit of parking there now. There's a
There
couple of
is-
lots.
I like the parking, I don't want to
And
pave anything.
and I
Hundreds of
can
people there
say
one
there's,
time.
there's plenty of pollinators there. I went there this summer.
It's my yard too, but I just, yeah. In Fall River, I walk each day down near the, Battleship Cove, and they have all different gardens, the children put the gardens in,
Oh,
so that's what I was
wicked
thinking about.
nice.
And they had all the pollinators.
That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
that's a
Yeah.
beautiful idea.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if the town owns one of those pieces of property.
That's,
Mm.
that's what I was
Exactly.
thinking.
Touche.
Although we might not be popular.
There's some potential. But, let's see. The next item was to review the Open Space Committee, the town webpage for needed updates, and I didn't bring copies to hand out to everybody, but I'll just point out, it's, some of the issues I saw with it. If you look at our webpage, the main body of the text, which there's a lot of historical information. It goes from 2001 to 2006 on the accomplishments of the committee. And I don't know if there's any newer ones. And there definitely Betty's Neck is in here and a lot of big accomplishments, which are good. But is there anything new that could be added to that? And I don't know, over the last 18 years since this was
I
updated.
know, I know.
Can
We
they
know.
see
And-
that?
We know.
And I just, and there's references to the 2001 open space plan in there, and 2 of them. So, I mean, that's easy to update, you know, a year there, but there could be some more accomplishments to put in there. I mean, like I said, what's in there is really good, but maybe add to it.
Can I suggest that we all take a look at it and
Yeah.
like come to the next meeting with
Yeah.
suggestions?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go through and when I talked to Tracy about it, she said we could redline the page and give it to her and she'll update it. Because,
Nice.
yeah, we don't have access to update the page ourselves.
Again, back in the day, and perhaps when the open space plan is accepted all the way around, it would be great to have a link so that everybody could go right to the website and open up the open space plan, but also those maps links
Yeah.
would be live,
Yeah.
so people could actually look
Yeah,
at
because
them.
you see a picture of the map right now.
I know.
And you can't.
Technology's moved really
You
quick.
can't even read the legend.
And,
you know?
So
Not
what
everything
year
else
town
kept up.
report was this in?
No, this is our webpage. It's
This is
online
on-
right now. If you go,
If you go look at the
So
open.
this used to be, I think this used to be in the town, in the town report.
Maybe that's what happened, maybe they just, maybe this committee just lifted it out of the,
well,
Report.
and
This hasn't,
I was thinking,
this
you know,
hasn't
we're.
had any
You hadn't.
CRs or anything put in since 2006.
Yeah.
Holy,
So I think,
holy
yeah.
cow.
yeah, yeah.
You might be in the best position to update that.
I'll take this.
That text part of it. And I just want to comment on a couple of other things that I noted in there. So that was in history, a couple of references. Tracy already updated the members and she'll
Right.
update them again.
Yeah, I can see that the
So,
members are updated, yeah.
And I did note on the agendas are from 2020, so Emily said that she would be able to update, put the latest ones in for us. And that's still good, right?
I'm sure they're down in storage.
Okay.
And-
Yeah, I can, you know, put maybe the last 3 or something, just keep it current, like the minutes. I think there's, was there like 6 of the last minutes up on there or something? Or maybe it scrolls even further, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, and the minutes are in good shape. It's just the agendas are 4 years
I
old.
can't believe how outdated that is.
Yeah, yeah. And so we got the history, we got 2001 references, agendas from 4 years ago, and then the, let's see, the upper left buttons I think are okay. There's an open space survey button, but if you go into it, you can see what the last survey was, but it says it's closed.
Right, you can't get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think it's good because the next survey, that button will be ready to go.
Right, I mean, and I got from Adam the copy of the survey and the results, and it's in the new open space
Right.
plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's all covered. So I'm just saying, that's inactive now, but it's there, so when it comes up, I don't know how often do we do the surveys?
That
Only
survey
when we're
was
doing the
done
open space
for the
plan.
open space
So
plan.
for the next plan, but I mean, the button will be there, so you can just
Right.
leave it, it's inactive, but it's
Yeah.
there. And then the next button was the open space plan update, which says it's gonna be complete in the fall of 2022, if you open
Not a
that up.
chance.
So, well, it looks like 24.
2024.
Fall of 24.
Exactly.
So that'd be a simple update there.
Exactly.
And then the open space plan 213 button is there, and that is there, and that's fine.
Right.
And, and then the meetings, it says, second Thursday, and we changed to
Right,
first
first
Thursday, so it'll be
Thursday.
another update. And it says Loon Pond Lodge for the location on the webpage, so that should be. And
Change
should it be
it.
Council on Aging or Lakeville Senior Center? What is the correct?
Council on Aging.
It's called, the building, it's called the Lakeville Council on Aging.
Yeah.
Okay, because the sign says Lakeville Senior Center.
Yep.
And I think our meeting minutes say Lakeville Senior Center.
Do they really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh.
and,
oh,
yeah,
well.
so should it be?
Just, yeah, we should probably all align under
Yeah,
the
so,
correct.
Whatever
should we
the
match
sign
the
says.
sign and the
Match the
meeting minutes and
sign.
go with Lakeville? It doesn't matter, but it should align. You know, and I can change the agenda right now, I've got Council on Aging.
Housekeeping.
Yeah, just,
Housekeeping.
You should say council on aging. This is updated to the council.
and of course, I got to, in my agenda, I got to correct the spelling on deer, because I thought it was, it was D-E-R, but it is D-E-A-R.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, it is D-E-A-R crossing, yeah.
The spelling, Marilyn Mansfield wanted it spelled the way it is spelled.
It's
Yeah.
adorable.
Yeah,
It's really
because
Yeah.
she felt that Her seniors were her
Well,
dear,
the
were
senior
dear to
citizens were
her.
dear
That's-
people.
no,
Yeah,
that's fine.
exactly.
Yeah,
so,
that's how that came about.
And also it has us meeting at 7 PM and it's 6 PM.
6, right.
So those updates, and I can leave this with you and Joan, and maybe for next meeting, just put a red line together and
Okay.
have the
You don't want me
committee.
with a red pen.
Yeah, don't touch it, no.
You've
yeah.
seen my
No,
red pen
no.
Or
work.
you can-
And you've seen my red pen work.
Maybe you want to do it on the computer. I don't know, whatever works. But if you want to bring something to the next meeting and we can discuss it, approve it, and then it can be submitted to Tracy for update.
Wow, 2006.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is-
Well, because
it is
you know,
different.
we're on the committee, so why would we go look at it? We looked at it a few years ago,
Yeah.
and we thought we were gonna do something about it. and then
Is the charge still there?
Heck, I don't know what happened.
Charge? I don't think so.
Okay,
Let me see it. I mean, that's pretty much everything you got right there.
okay.
All right, so let's just get us all up to date. And then I added this new business section, and I saw this in the 2020 agenda, and I thought it was a good idea.
Yeah.
Discuss any correspondence or announcements, and we don't have any correspondence or announcements from any of the other commissions or committees requesting us to do anything, so there's nothing there. Agenda items for next meeting is, we're going to carry on what's on the current agenda. Does anybody have anything else that should be on the next agenda in addition? I don't have anything request from any other.
Do we wanna talk about the website rewrite?
I put chapter land
Yep.
website.
Throw that on there maybe?
Yep.
The
That one,
chapter
yeah, it's on there
one.
now, so I'm going to carry on.
Oh, we can carry
Yeah,
over that
whatever.
things.
All right.
Yeah, but yeah, that's already on there. And like I said, I don't have any requests for us to look at any properties or proposals or plans in there. And if anything comes in, I will add that under the new business. If it comes in before the next meeting, I'll add
You
that in.
just help
Yeah.
it in.
I mean, I don't think we have to continue discussing the state biodiversity program.
No,
It was more of a,
no,
like,
that was
if
just
y'all
a
are
closeout
interested,
on
you might
that.
wanna.
Yep. All right. Yeah, and any other business not mentioned in the agenda. And the meeting minutes approval from the last meeting, they came, I didn't have them on the agenda. And speaking of the agenda.
Oh, so we have to approve them next month?
No, it says, discuss any other business not mentioned in the agenda that may properly come before the committee. And of course, approving the meeting minutes is something that would properly come before the committee. You know, they came in after I had submitted the agenda, so I think that's,
I can't vote on them because I wasn't there.
oh, you can't.
No.
And I can't vote because I'm
So I don't think you
illegitimate.
have a quorum. Because
All right,
Brian's
so,
not.
all right, we'll put them off to next
Till
meeting.
next
I'll put them
month.
on the
Yeah,
agenda
because we
for
wouldn't
next
have a
meeting.
quorum that way, would we?
And Brian's not.
There's
No.
three
And then
of
you'll have
us,
Yeah.
not a quorum.
Yeah, you need 4. Yeah. And that's fine. Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
No, they're not.
I was gonna test out that new email system though, but to you.
I couldn't hear that. What did you just say?
Be careful what you agree to.
Yeah. All right, so we'll put that on the agenda for next meeting to approve the July 11th meeting minutes.
And the August 1st meeting minutes.
And
Yeah,
the
yeah,
first,
yeah.
yeah, we'll put both of them on for next. I mean, I'm sure this is not the first time that's happened.
It's not?
No. It won't be the
And,
last.
Yeah, and let's see, and that's, I don't think there's any other new business. So the next meeting, the first Thursday of the month would be September 5th, 6 PM. And what was it going to be, Council on Aging or Lakeville Senior Center?
You really like
Consensus.
that.
You know, we
It's
got
what
two
the
different
sign
things
says,
going
I
here.
thought, yeah. It's
It
kind of what
should
the
be
sign
consistent.
says.
The sign says Lakeville Senior Center, if anybody's coming
Yeah,
here.
but that's probably because the town's just hasn't come up with the money to change the sign because nobody's sitting.
We actually discussed this even during the COA board meetings,
Right, yeah.
you know, so the senior center, I believe, is the building.
And, but
that's
the
where
organization
that's where the meeting is.
Oh,
That's where the
Lakeville-
meeting is, right.
I
wow.
think
I think, that seems to make sense. The sign says it is.
Oh, that's so
It seems
odd.
more, the Council on Aging doesn't seem like a building.
Oh, so that's.
It could be, if it said
Ah.
Council on Aging building.
But I think it's probably the senior
All
center.
right, so let's
Ah,
go with
okay. I
the
didn't
senior,
understand.
There is no,
I apologize, I didn't
senior center.
understand.
It's already on the sign, it's already on the meeting minutes. I'll put it on the agenda.
okay,
And, well, so instead of Council on Aging, it will be Lakeville Senior Center for
Okay.
consistency. So if anybody wants to come observe in our meetings, it'll be clear.
Yes.
Okay, so next meeting, Thursday, September 5th, 6 PM here. And anything else before I call to adjourn? All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Second. All right. Vote to adjourn, in favor? I can't vote, I can't.
Okay, I can't vote.
All right, we adjourn.
We're done.
Thank you.